Hello guys, this is Mysterious Man Toby coming at you with the latest patch notes. This is patch 1.09. This patch came out May the 31st, so about a month and a half ago or so. Just not getting to this because honestly I was being lazy with it, doing other things, and I just had a lot of stuff going on at the time, so I couldn't just sit down and make the video. But I have been able to do so. I think I found pretty much everything. I might be, more or less I found everything. But this patch was not that big, and basically if you saw my first video addressing it, I'll have a link to that in the description. Basically I talked about what the patch most likely fixed and what I pretty much believe it fixed. And after exploring the game a little bit more after the patch, this indeed came more and more into fruition, that they basically just tweaked minor things and whatnot, and that was about it. Without further ado, let's just pretty much get into this. So the first character that actually received a nerf was Minato Namikaze. And basically, the two projectiles on the projectile throw that he does, his chakra throw, they actually shoot more straight now. So this was a significant nerf to his zoning. Now his presence from across the map is still strong, but only at max range will the kunais actually really be effective. And literally, you don't even have to be mid range. You just have to literally walk a little bit further, and now the projectile shooting straight, just they miss now, and it's crazy. It really is. But I still think he's definitely I still think he's a strong character in meta play. It's just he was weakened. But when you look at the other meta characters aside from Mei, it doesn't really hurt him that bad. It's just now he can't be as lax against maybe Mei and other characters in that regard, to where okay, I'm going to make some risky plays, go down a bunch of health or whatever, and then just rely on my zoning to just kind of bring it back up and whatnot. You can't do that anymore. So that's unfortunate, but I mean, when this character is the only character in the game aside from Shino that really has that luxury to zone. Well, aside from Shino and Mei that really has that luxury to zone from across the map effectively, then yeah, I can see where it was warranted. But if you're going to nerf that, why not nerf Shino's projectiles to make them size, so that way he doesn't get the luxury of tracking. Not his X combos. His X combos should track a little bit. I feel like that's fine, but his chakra projectile shouldn't. But that's just my opinion, and this isn't about what I think should be buffed or nerfed. This is the patch notes. So without further ado, moving on to the next character, Pain. There is no longer a gap between his third and fourth string. So for those of you that didn't know, pre-patch you could actually mash out counter or time it, but basically you just mash it out and you could counter him in between this string right here. I would actually use this a lot against Pain players because, believe it or not, a lot of Pain players were unaware of this, and a lot of people who played Pain didn't even know that he had a gap between his combos. But they eliminate this, which is nice because now he doesn't have to play a guessing game against players who are actually aware of this, which is pretty cool that he just has, the guaranteed, block pressure like everyone else. And his up combo now pops the opponent really close up to Pain. Before it popped them out a little bit, it popped them farther out to where there was no chance of a follow-up whatsoever, especially since you could rebound out of it extremely fast. Now they are popped up really close, so there's a small chance of a follow-up here, which is a nice little buff, but Pain has always been a really solid character, so this is just icing on the cake, really. Sage's 6-pass Naruto no longer has a gap between his 5th and 6th string, which pretty much like Pain just means he doesn't have to play a guessing game. He gets solid, guaranteed pressure. Fu has had her combo speed adjusted so that her combos come out faster. I don't understand this logic, really. Fu was already a fantastic slept-on character. Her awakening hitboxes or hurt boxes are still kind of stupid and annoying, and her tilt is good. Her combos in general were good. She's just a solid character, and now she's just even better. So, thanks, CC2. And moving on to another character that has had a buff and that his combo speed has been adjusted so he combos faster, PTS Neji. His combo speed is slightly faster, and again, I don't really understand this because he's literally like older Neji. He has priority and all of that. They just made him better by adjusting his combo speed. So I guess thanks. Sasuke Uchiha Taka, or Taka Sasuke's tilt, now knocks the opponent back as opposed to pop them in the air. Before, it used to pop them in the air, and now it knocks them straight back, which is good because I felt like, what's the point and having a tilt that pops them in the air if you can't even take advantage of it to some degree. And the only way you can really take advantage of it is if you switched after doing it to, get the combo. But even still, he himself couldn't. And now I feel like he's just more or less rewarded off of it simply because now your opponent's going to have to think, hey, I got caught by this tilt. Do I sub to stay close to him or take this tilt and now he has distance and now there's distance between us? So I like that change to him. It just makes him a little better. Rock Lee has had his combo speed adjusted so that he combos faster. So I don't understand why they did this. Rock Lee is already a fantastic character. I'm not going to go all out here, but what I will say is that there's going to be a link in the description where you can go check out the analysis I did on him a few days ago. And there's also a playlist you can check out of my 1.08 analysis and my 1.09 analysis as well over characters. Basically what I do in those videos is that I look at their buffs and stuff and their overall changes, and I analyze how I feel like they will impact the character positively or negatively in relation to the meta. So yeah, definitely check that out if you want to learn more about how this particular buff in general helped out Rock Lee. Moving on to his next buff, now he no longer has a gap between his third and fourth string, I believe. Basically, like all the other characters that have had this change, he doesn't have to play a guessing game. He now has guaranteed pressure on guard, so that's cool. PTS Kakashi's combo speed has been adjusted so that he attacks faster, which is pretty good. Honestly, this Kakashi beforehand was a little lackluster in that he, I felt like, honestly, he was just underwhelming. And leading into his next buff, I feel like his tilt hitboxes, I guess this isn't necessarily a guaranteed buff. Like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like the tilt hitboxes have been slightly configured to hit more consistently. Because I'm more or less getting, now the ranges that I'm putting my tilt in and stuff, they're now starting to hit more consistently. And I just feel like it's coming to my aid more so now than before. Maybe I don't know, maybe I just somehow got better with Kakashi after not using him for several months or what. But that's just kind of what I feel has happened. But aside from that, a combo speed buff is really nice. You can't sleep on a combo speed buff, especially when Kakashi uses a sword in his combos, and that means a disjoint, and now it just means his disjoints come out, at a faster pace, and you're not careful, you can get caught up when dashing and stuff like that. Tsunade no longer has a gap between her second and third string, so guaranteed block pressure, which is good for the character. The character's already solid, infinite, things like that. I'll probably do an analysis over her too. So yeah, she's already a really solid character, so to add that to it is just a plus. Darui no longer has a gap between his fourth and fifth string. Really good for Darui. He's already a really good character. A lot of people like to use him for style, so the fact that he gets guaranteed block pressure is only going to help players who main him or just like to use him for style. Kakuzu has had his combo speed adjusted slightly, and his jutsu comes out faster, I believe. Again, this could just be maybe, I don't know, maybe I feel like his jutsu is slightly faster, but maybe that's just me overthinking it. If you want to see how I feel, if you want to learn how these buffs positively impact Kakuzu and what he's looking like now after this buff, again, there will be a link in the description to the analysis I did over him a few days ago, so definitely check that out if you're looking to maybe main Kakuzu or so. Soigetsu Hozuki has had his combo speed adjusted so that his combos come out faster. Really good for Soigetsu. I have never slept on Soigetsu. Even at the beginning of the game, people were saying, oh, Soigetsu's bad, he combos really slowly, etc. I never slept on Soigetsu. I've always liked using him. In fact, this one player that I've known for a while, I'm not going to say we used to be friends on Xbox, but we were on some other shit back then. Anyways, his tag is Wendy Sensei. But anyways, Soigetsu is just, in general, he's just a lot better now because of the combo speed being adjusted. So, yeah. And lastly, Inoki no longer has a gap between his fourth and fifth string. So, with that being said, that means he gets guaranteed pressure. Inoki, solid character. This just makes him better. So that's pretty much it as far as I could tell what has been changed. If you found something else like glitch changes and whatnot, definitely comment in the comment section, and I'll be updating. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this list in the description. And I'm going to be updating it as we confirm more and more changes, if anyone should find any more changes. And basically, as we confirm these changes, I'll alter the description list of it, and I'll make maybe a pinned comment, and I'll edit that comment as we get more and more things added, so that way when people begin to view this video, maybe later on and whatnot, maybe, you know, in about a week or so, it just depends, they'll see, oh, well, this has been added, etc., etc. So we can begin to maybe possibly complete this potentially uncompleted patch notes, like we did with the 1.08 patch. Another thing it also claimed to do was it also claimed to mess around with stability, so that the game just, the online netcode and stuff is just better. However, if you've seen other YouTubers make videos about this, I've seen some YouTubers make videos about this. Apparently the game's still crashing. I've seen people comment saying that my game is crashing after the patch. I don't know what the heck happened, but I've always been fine with this game. My connection's always been swell. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't have the best connection there is out there. But I feel like I don't really know if it necessarily made it better. But I'm still getting fights. I'm still connecting on time. I'm not having timeouts or anything like that. I'm able to play ranked. Nothing's timing out for me. Nothing's crashing. So I don't know what it is with certain people's games crashing, especially after this patch update. But it claimed to fix online stability and stuff. So I don't really know, guys. Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's what I figured out from testing and whatnot. Again, if you found something else, definitely put it in the comment section. I will alter it as we confirm these changes and so on and so forth. Again, if you want to see content regarding analysis on certain characters, guides, etc., make sure to subscribe. It's the best way to keep up with all my content. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course, subscribe. Mysterious Man Toby, signing off.